When you're going out onto the hill, factors like your experience, the weather, and the route you're going to be taking are going to really influence what you pack. This video is aimed at the very basics on a really nice day. So if you're just starting out, here's some essentials. So here's my bag that I'm going to be using. It's a small lightweight bag. It's got everything on it. It's got a little hydration hole there if you've got a platypus or a camelback. But it's nice and light, no real back support, very bendy. It means you can screw it up and you can carry it on somewhere else. This is a bit more of a serious backpack. It's a little bit more sturdy in the back. It's got a plastic frame with a kind of piece of metal down the middle. It's more shaped. It's got some hip straps. It's good for carrying weight. This is what I'd use as an instructor. This would be much more a regular thing for me. Now this is a nice little bit of kit. This is a little Primaloft jacket. So Primaloft is a make that make the insulation, and basically it is a small compact wool jacket. It's really warm. It's windproof as well, and they're expensive. They cost a fair bit of money. You can buy them second hand. They really hold well. But if they're down, not Primaloft, then they don't work when they're wet. Where Primaloft like this works when it's wet. So that's what I'd recommend for UK weather. Next we have a whistle, and this is just a really loud whistle, Fox 40 whistle, very good. A torch, you need it for the emergency use in the night. I'm not planning on using it as a head torch. It can be really useful for getting around, that's what I'd recommend, but any torch will do in a pinch. Better to take one than none at all. Water bottles, 1 litre or 2, well, sunny day, I'll take 2. Map, a map bag, something to keep it dry, or alternatively you can use a Harvey's map. This is a Harvey's map there. They do all different sorts of ones. They're actually waterproof themselves, that they don't need any protection. And of course, a good old trusty compass. Phone, waterproof cover for the phone there. These are my waterproof trousers. Now it's really important that I think that you have a big split zip down the side. It means you can get them on easily over your boots, and they still can pack small. Here is the first aid kit. Now that's the first aid kit that I would take again as an instructor. It's packed full, loads of stuff in there, lots of different scenarios. That's because I'm first aid trained, but you really don't need to take all of it. And if you don't know, you're not comfortable with first aid, then there's no really point in taking it, and it might in fact encourage you to do something that you probably shouldn't bother with. Now this at the little front pocket, it is at the front because I use this bit the most. And what we've got in here is we've got some compeed, so some blister plasters. And there's these little green sticks. These are for removing ticks. So if you're doing the 3 peaks and you're going to go in Scotland, good idea. Tick removers, and then some paracetamol, things like that. If you've got a headache, definitely happen and can really slow the day down. Then I might take some additional plasters if you've kind of pick up any little cuts and scrapes, fall over, etc. That's pretty much it. You don't need to take a lot. It's about being self-reliant. So if you've got those few things, you don't need to go to somebody else, and one person doesn't have to carry tons and tons of equipment to make sure they're safe. Drop in a little dry bag, squash it all down, and you'll see that is much smaller and so much lighter. Realistically, that's what you're likely to use on a day, and all the other stuff you'll probably never use. So here's me packing. Waterproofs at the bottom. It's a lovely sunny day. This is the plan. This is like a Ben Nevis bag, so I'm taking waterproofs because Ben Nevis is big. Waterproofs at the bottom. Here is a really lightweight coat. Okay, so this is I'm gonna just fold it up and fold it into the hood. This is like a kind of pack mat coat, so it's not breathable. It's kind of just plasticky, but again, I'm expecting the weather to be brilliant, and this is an emergency and will keep me safe. Although not the most comfortable because it doesn't breathe like Gore-Tex or other kind of fabrics like that. What we got next? The dry bags. The dry bags you get everywhere. I think that one was about £6-7 from Alpkit. Order online. Here goes a fleece. Keep all my warm kit in there. So I pick fleece over cotton because fleece doesn't hold the water the way the cotton does. It stays warmer for you. It's much lighter. So definitely pick fleece if you can. Hats and gloves, normal woolly hat, as you'd expect, and the gloves, they were from a gardening shop, I think. That's what I go for. They work fine for me. Now when I squash it down, get all the air out best I can to keep it. because they're my spare ones, I want them fully sealed away, and I'm going to almost forget about them because they're there for a backup. And then I try and squash them into a bit of a shape that'll suit the bag that I'm taking more, and get them packed away. Head torch and whistle, they are going to go into a separate pocket inside the bag. That's just so when I'm pulling other things out, lunch out, water bottles out, I'm not going to lose these couple of items because they're particularly important and I'm not intending on using them, so I don't check them very often. I might also use them, put them on the hook on the inside at the top of the bag. Again, out of the way, but I know where they are in an emergency. Tiny first aid kit, you're going to get that stowed away. Again, easily accessible, don't want to have to dig out the bag if I suddenly need to put on a plaster. If you get a blister, treat it straight away. If you get a hot spot, treat it straight away. There we go, getting the phone away into the same little nook and cranny. Treat it straight away, that way it won't develop into something much worse. It's better to stop early and treat blisters early. 2 water bottles, because it's Scorchio, oh yes. So 2 water bottles would go in. I definitely don't want to be thirsty on the hill. I'd rather take a little bit more weight and be comfortable. Lunchbox, that's going to go in. Yummy, yummy. I have some snacks. I'm probably going to put them in my pockets. If I had a coat, or if I didn't have a coat on, I'd probably just pop them in the very top of the hood. Now this is Ryman's P20. You put it on once a day. It lasts for 10 hours. So when I'm in the outdoors doing that, that's what I go for. Nice and simple. And a lovely floppy hat to keep the sun off you. And obviously sunglasses, very important. But the sun stroke or sun kind of damage to you can really wear you out quickly. Boom, ready to go. Well, I hope you found something useful in that information. I'll add some links to any descriptions of stuff that I think is find useful for you. I'll put it down below. Please leave me a comment, like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.